Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Chem League, and the Outlaws are surging at the perfect time as they have done the last two seasons. Currently sitting at 7-5 and at the top of our division, and we are going to be facing off against a division rival today who has been a problem for us in the past, and hopefully we have moved on past that as the Maulers are currently sitting at 5-7. They've recently dumped a bit of salary, and so they are kind of getting to that point where they're starting to realize their season is over, and we hope that they don't try and play spoiler to us for another consecutive year. We're going to see what we can do here. I am very nervous about what we're going to get out of Kellen Kirk today. He's coming into this one tense, and his last outing was not a very good one. He got completely beat up. It took him forever to try and recover. And so we're hoping that he can settle in very quickly, but looking at the notable players for the Maulers, it might not end up happening for us. But no way to know unless we get into this. If Kellen Kirk does not have a good game, I will plan to drop him for somebody else before the playoffs. We'll take a look at our options after this if that ends up being necessary. I already set the lineup for this game, so Sorelli will be in right field, Babshishin in center, Rock Quintana will be at second base in the third spot, and he is currently locked in. Tony Centercut locked in as well, DHing today. Elias Hensley will get the start at first base for the struggling Justice Cologne. She is tense, so she gets a day off. B. Buck will get the start behind the plate. He's starting to get a little tired, but still not affecting his ratings. Cannon Avery is locked in at third base. Caroline Dealer will be getting the start in left field, and then Ramon Lee will round out the order there at shortstop. Kellen Kirk, again, tense. We'll see what happens. Really, very nervous for this one. But we head home to the Tiger Den, and we'll see if Kellen can settle in and feel comfortable. It looks like, I think that's Brandon Pineda at the bottom of the order is currently rattled for the Maulers, so we'll see what ends up happening. But this one, at this point, every game feels make or break with 4 left in the season, with currently a half-game lead over our the second place team in the division, which is the Burners. Mauricio Khan is locked in. We'll walk up to the plate to start things off for the Maulers. Batting .357 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Will ground out to shortstop, and Ramon Lee will get that over to Elias Hensley for out number 1. So good start for Kellen Kirk. Thankful there. Now Werner Medrano comes up. He has tier 3 inside pitch, so Kellen has to be very careful. Gets the strike on the outside part of the plate. There's an inside pitch, but too far inside. Werner batting .156 on the year with 1 home run and 2 RBIs. Missing the plate here is Kirk. He's down 3-1 in the count and gives up the walk. So got a first pitch strike, and then this ends up giving up the walk, and now Dalton Gonzalez comes up, batting .357. His tier 3 choker that might play a role later in the game, and immediately grounds to short, and Ramon Lee throws it in the dirt. Something very, very uncharacteristic of him, and we could have gotten out of the inning, even with a sprinting Dalton Gonzalez flying down the line, and now here comes, oh God, Ed Guerrero, excuse me. Big hitter here. He's on fire, and we have to be very careful. Elias snaps that one onto the ground, or off the ground, and he catches that on the line to get out of the inning. So no harm, no foul on the fielder's choice from Gonzalez, as Ramon Lee does not get the penalty of an error. Instead, we head to the bottom of the first, starting things off with Braden Sorelli against Remus Wallace. Remus has tier 2 K collector, a 4.20 ERA on the year with a 1.20 whip and 8 strikeouts. Gets a second strike there, so K collector and tough out will activate for both sides, 2-2 count, and will stay alive there, fouling one off. And that time catching the corner of the plate, and Braden liked that pitch, but just goes foul. That ball stays low, so full count now for Braden, who fights one off again. And there's a ground out to short, to first. Said short because usually we see Kirk there. Kirk able to get the step on first base to get out the speedy Braden Sorelli, who looks like he dropped down to neutral mojo, or was he neutral before? I think he was neutral before, so he might be tense now. Dalton comes up, pops one foul, and then pops one up to the mound. Remus Wallace calls everyone off, catches that for out number 2. So it's a quick 2 outs here for the Outlaws offense. And now we turn to Rock Quintana, who's got a little bit of a turnaround since he got that little hack trait. And he is batting .333 on the year. Takes a first pitch strike, so little hack will activate there. I think that's the first time we've seen it. And there's an off-speed pitch, sent it to deep left center field, and he does it again. Rock Quintana, his 5th home run of the year, is another solo shot. All of them have been solo shots. 399 to left center, and he is happy to get the scoring started for the Outlaws. Remus Wallace was cruising through those first 2 batters and did not give the right pitch to Rock Quintana. And now we'll see what he does against the also locked-in Tony Centercut. Tony now 1 home run behind Rock for the league lead. 0-2 count here, and he gets a fastball and goes back-to-back. Holy shit, that one goes to the upper deck. Tony Centercut with an upper decker to Remus Wallace, 474. Dead center, and that one 5th home run, 11 RBIs on the season. And Tony Centercut says, anything you can do, I can do better. And he puts that one out in a hurry. And it is now 2-0. Now here comes Elias Hensley, fully healthy. Normally our DH, but has taken a few days off and now gets to start at first. Looking for a high pitch or a fastball or both. Gets that fastball, but it pushes it foul, so he's going to go down 1-2, and tense Remus Wallace will get K collector. And a high pitch, but pulled foul. 1-2 count with 2 outs, and that one stays inside, so we'll do 2-2. That one just misses the corner, so full count with 2 outs, and catches the corner, and Elias is like, the last pitch you gave me was almost in the same spot, and you called it a ball. So that's a strikeout, but 2 home runs, back-to-back shots from Rock Quintana and Tony Centercut, the last 2 MVPs in the last 2 seasons. And now Kellen Kirk has himself a 2-0 lead in the top of the second here. He's still tense. He falls behind immediately to Jensen Ferver. Gets the get-me-over strike there. Jensen's locked in right now. And we'll get a base hit up the middle, right up the middle, past the glove of Kellen Kirk, and so locked in he will remain as he's now standing on first base. He has great speed, but he also has tier 2 bad jumps. And now Kirk will come up. We'll have that tier 1 contact versus lefty trait active, but it doesn't matter as she's going to get a ball right on, or I guess that does matter as it's helping her to barrel up the ball and send it into center. So back-to-back singles here. And now Flown Corona comes up. Tier 2 first pitch Slayer also has tier 2 bad ball hitters, so Kellen has to be careful here on these pitches. Gets the strike in the bottom corner. This time a bunt shown, and B cannot get, I don't know why he didn't dive for that. He couldn't get that, so it's a sacrifice bunt for Flown Corona. With 1 out, Demetrius Blacksmith will come up, batting .231, no home runs, no RBIs, 2 runners in scoring position. So tough spot for Kellen Kirk right now. Could be huge for his mojo if he can get out of this one. 2-1 count here. Demetrius looking for his first RBI of the season. He's going to get it here as he dumps that into left field, and Caroline Dealer will get it in, but 1 run easily scores from third. The other advances to third, and now first and third with 1 out, and Bertram Pineda, who is rattled right now, will come up to the plate batting .152 on the year, and he's going to hit that one to right center field, and it's going to carry, but Braden Sorelli catches that in that nook in right center, and a run is easily going to score, so this game gets all tied up. So Bertram Pineda is rattled, but was able to still come through for his team. And we turn around to the top of the order once again. Kellen Kirk still tense, 25 pitches into this game, giving up 2 runs here in the top of the second. Now 2 outs. 1-1 count for Khan. Runner on first with not much speed. Keep in mind, good arm behind the plate here. B-Buck will frame that one for a nice strike, and there's K-Collector activated. And staying just alive, getting that off the edge of the bat. 2-2, 2 outs. Just misses, so full count runner will go. And blasted to deep center field up against the wall, and it's going to get out of here. You could hear it hit the trees there, and Mauricio Khan, full count with 2 outs, and he gets a 2-run homer. Kellen Kirk, 4 runs here in the second inning, and he has been not as advertised. We brought him in as a former All-Star, but I guess there was a reason he got released by his former team. And he is currently rattled. Werner Medrano will come up with 2 outs, and he hits one into the left field corner. This one's going to bounce back to Caroline Dealer, and that was a fortuitous hop as it was able to help her get that in really quickly. Dalton Gonzalez reached on a fielder's choice. They're going to pull Kellen Kirk now. Elder Santos is going to come in. Full stamina here with Workhorse at tier 2, and you saw that 103-mile-an-hour fastball. He gets ahead in the count here, 0-2 already. And Dalton will ground it slowly to pitcher to get out of the inning. So Elder able to get things done, but not before the Maulers just maul Kellen Kirk to the tune of 4 runs. Oh, just getting beat up again, and now we're going to have a bullpen game for the Outlaws. We saw a little bit of offense from our team against Remus Wallace, who's still tense. B will get a base hit to get things started. Diving attempt from the second baseman, and he pretty much skated across the top of the grass there, but could not make contact with his glove. And so B-Buck gets things started with a leadoff single, and that will prevent Remus from getting settled in. Oh, B is also locked in over there at first. Cannon Avery sends one into left center field. It's going to get all the way to the wall. It bounces off. Jensen Ferver will get it in quickly and send it to second base to prevent the double. But nice hit from Cannon Avery, and we saw Buck get all the way around to third base on that hit. So a nice little rally going here. And now Caroline Dealer, hopefully she can add on to it. They call that a strike at the bottom of the zone. Another one there, as he's been throwing that slider a lot. Here's the fastball right at Mauricio Khan, and just getting back is B. Buck. Holy moly, almost got the double up at third base there. And now Ramon Lee, who got a 3-run homer in the last game, will look to see if he can do something big for the team here. Just misses that pitch and fouls it back. 1-1, 1 out, runners on the corners. Hits one hard into center field, but Jensen Ferver can track that down with that great speed. So Avery retreats back to first, but Buck easily scores on that sacrifice fly. And we turn it to the top of our lineup. We'll see if Braden can try and match what Mauricio Khan did for the Maulers, a 2-run homer for him. Instead, Braden sends the first pitch into center field for a base hit. So hopefully that brings his mojo back. It does. He's back to neutral. 2 on, 2 out. Dalton Babshishin comes up, batting .394 on the season. No home runs, 2 RBIs. Gets a pitch at the bottom of the zone that he fouls off, swung late there. And that time he gets one up the middle. So a nice contact from the top of the order here. And we now have bases loaded for Rock Quintana, who was the one that got the scoring started for the team with a solo home run. Would be wonderful to see that here. Little hack activates, locked in Rock Quintana, and a 0-1 count. Ball gets into the dirt. Runners will stay where they are as it didn't get it far enough away from the catcher. Nice block from Demetrius Blacksmith. 1-2 count here, so Little Hack activates again. So will K-Collector. And staying alive, had to be defensive with his swing there. And Rock Quintana hits it off the end of the bat and sends it to first base for an easy ground out to end the inning. But 1 run does come across, and we get ourselves close to catching back up here. We're now 4-3 in the top of the third. Elder Santos comes back out to the mound, now has to face off against Ed Guerrero. Ed takes a strike there, has Tier 2 Dive Wizard and Stimulated. Neither activated, and holy fuck. That ball hits into the upper deck shot there. Left center field. It was a piss missile, that one. 470. And Ed Guerrero's 7th home run and 14th RBI of the season. He actually leads the league in home runs, I believe. Man, he absolutely demolished that one. And Elder Santos still neutral mojo here. But man, that was a mistake. Hopefully that's the only one he makes here because we need some length out of him. He's gotten ahead in the count here against Fervor. And Fervor goes foul down the third base line, almost making the play is Cannon. And Cannon cuts off Ramon Lee and tosses to first for out number 1. Pavlik Kirk went 0 for 1, or I'm sorry, 1 for 1 with a single her last time up. And now we'll see what Elder Santos can do here with 1 out and ahead in the count here against Pavlo, 0-2. And she'll dribble that one in front of the plate, but it ends up being a bouncing foul. And there she does it again. This time it gets caught in fair territory by Buck, and he's able to get it over to first easily for out number 2. My flown Corona. I don't know. That was just what popped into my head when he said that. 1-0 count here for Flown. She had a sacrifice bunt in her last at-bat, allowing a runner to advance to third, which ended up scoring. And she hits this one to deep right center field. It bounces off the wall. Braden Sorelli with a perfect play on the recoil off that wall. There's so many angles. There's so many different paddings and textures to these walls in Tiger Den that you really have to be experienced to know how to play against that or plan around that. Braden Sorelli has done it a lot in his time as an Outlaw. And the grounder to first base is easy play for Elias Hensley to get out of the inning, but the Maulers get their lead back to 2 after a solo home run from Ed Guerrero. And now Remus was still on the mound and still tense, but he's staying alive, probably just out there because his team has gotten him the lead. Tony Centercut with rally starter activated here. K Collector misses the plate there, so 2-2. And, oh, that ball dropped right into the zone, right into his breadbasket, but swinging just a little late. And that time, same thing, but popped foul behind the plate and gets a base hit there on a ball right past the diving shortstop. So Tony Centercut will lead things off here in the bottom of the third with a base hit, turning things over to Elias Hensley, who could tie this game with one swing of the bat. 2 home runs and 10 RBIs on the year, batting .333. Remus trying to be careful here, but swinging, and that ball's going to fly away and get out of play. And they got lucky there because if that ball doesn't get out of play, there's a chance that Tony could have gotten to third base. Instead, that stolen base attempt. Oh, my goodness. Elias Hensley takes strike 3 there. He was all lost in that at bat as he swung at the pitch that bounced off of the glove and all the way out of play. Oh, yeah. B-Buck now comes in locked in. That curveball catches the corner. There's a strike high and inside. 0-2, K Collector activates for Wallace. And chases strike 3. B-Buck very mad at himself for getting out of the strike zone on that one. And that's going to be out number 2. So we got a leadoff single. We got a runner over to second base with no outs. And we ended up getting 2 strikeouts consecutively. So now we turn to Cannon Avery, still locked in and batting .409 on the year. Yet to get his first RBI or home run. Could be nice right now. K Collector activates. 1-2 count, 2 outs. And wow, Remus Wallace. Bet you got his mojo back after getting 3 strikeouts to end the inning there. And we head to the top of the 4th, down 5-3. We're going to go 9-1-2, meaning that Bertram Pineda is going to lead things off, still rattled, even though he got that ball shatters. Cannon Avery, nice throw back to first from the line. It's a long way from third to first there. Bertram Pineda with that sacrifice fly earlier grounds out to third, and now Mauricio Khan, who had a 2-run homer earlier today that drove Kellen Kirk out of the game. 2-0 here, and Santos trying to be very careful Pops one foul, so 2-2 with one out, and missing the corner. He didn't get the call, so it's full count. And now Khan looking for a pitch he can drive, but has to be protective here. Fouling a couple pitches off at a full count, and that ball gets through the diving attempt from both Elias and Rock Quintana. Rock running all over the field there. And it's a base hit for Mauricio Khan with one out, and now Werner Madrano comes up 1-for-1 with a single and a walk. Looking for an inside pitch. Gets a pitch on the outside part of the zone, and Rock Quintana not ready for it. Nice throw from Dalton Babshishin. Not able to get the runner at third, and then the other runner advances to second base. Gosh, what a mistake from Dalton. Nobody cut it off. There was a play at third for sure, but with that speed from first to third, that was just a mistake, and now runners are in scoring position with only one out for Dalton Gonzalez, who is tier 3 choker. We said that was going to come in play here, but 3-0 count. Santos has to fight back here. Cannot give this one up to Gonzalez. And that ball, nice play from Rock Quintana. He catches that on a fly, so we save ourselves a little bit here as the infield was playing in. And now we're going to see Elder Santos get pulled for crisp lopside. This is a very interesting situation here. Ed Guerrero is still on fire. Hit a home run in his last at-bat. 2 runners in scoring position. He's going to bloop that into left field, but it's going to go just foul. 1-1 count here. Crisp needs to get a clean inning here. 1-2 now getting ahead in the count. Try to put him away. That ball hit into right field and stays up for Braden Sorelli to get out of the inning. So big moment there. That could have been the turning point for the Outlaws, as we were able to avoid it letting 2 runners score with 1 out and both in scoring position. And now Caroline Dealer will hopefully get things started here against Ramus Wallace. Ramus back to neutral mojo after 3 consecutive strikeouts in the last inning. And Caroline will ground softly to second base. Ed Guerrero, easy play over to Pavla Kirk for out number 1. Ramon Lee comes up. He had a sacrifice. He has an RBI, but he did. What was his? I don't remember. Did he have a sacrifice fly? Oh, he had a deep center field. 2-0 count. Ramon grounds out to second base. He had a pitch he could drive, misses it, and it's an easy 4-3 put out, and 2 outs here already. So 5 consecutive outs for Remus Wallace as he has gotten into a groove in the second half of this game. Gets a strike against Braden, stays low for ball 1. And Braden hits one to left field, but not enough on it. It looked like it hit just inside the barrel and flies out to left field to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Remus Wallace, who fell behind in this game really early, and I think he got the momentum back on his side once his team started putting up runs. Chris Flopside tasked with getting through the 5th inning. Gets the first pitch swinging from Fervor, who gets it off the end of the bat, and it grounds softly to second base, and now he loses his mojo. I think back down to neutral. Pavla now 1 for 2. Chris Blobside waving to his friend Pavla. They used to be teammates back in season 1 before she stepped up to the plate. 1-2 count here, and she stays alive on that one. And then swings through strike 3, and he says, "I love you, but go back and sit down." And so he gets locked in. Chris Blopside will now face Floan Corona, 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice bunt. She is bat ball hitter and first pitch slayer. Takes first pitch for a strike. That was a wild movement from Crisp on that one. Gets a grounder to short. Out number 3, crisp and clean for Chris Blopside in the 5th. So 1-2-3 inning, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning now. We'll go 2-3-4, starting with Dalton Babshishin, who's 1 for 2 with a single. We'll see what he can do here. And Remus Wallace will get pulled for Clint Brock. Clint comes in with a 4-seam, a slider, and a curveball. Good accuracy, but below average junk and velocity. Gets ahead in the count here, 1-2. And gets him chasing. I don't know what he was thinking there, but Dalton kind of just flailed at that pitch, and that's going to be a strikeout for out number 1. Rock Quintana comes up. 1 for 2, had a big opportunity and gets an off-speed pitch. He sends into right field for a base hit, so he's 2 for 2 today. 1 home run and a single. Had a big opportunity in his last at-bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs, but he grounded out to first base. Now Tony has a big moment here against Clint Brock. Swings through the slider for strike 1. Gets a fastball, but swings late and fouls it back. So 0-2 count here against Brock. Brock misses the corner there for ball 1. And a fastball right to Guerrero, over to Khan, over to Kirk. Double play, and that ends the inning. So a missed opportunity again for our biggest hitters to do something. And oh, that is unfortunate. So we're going to head to the 6th inning, down by 2. We have to prevent them from scoring before we can look at fighting back. Chris Flopside is still in there, locked in against Demetrius Blacksmith. And he'll pop that one up into shallow right center, ranging back as Rock catching that in the grass for out number 1. Bertram 0 for 1 with the sacrifice fly. He's still rattled. This high-pressure situation will impact him even more, along with reverse split. So he is just getting knocked around all over the place. 0-2 count immediately. And just missing the bottom of the zone for ball 1. There's strike 3 called. Bertram Pineda, there's nowhere else to go but down from there. Or go up from there, because he is in the worst position he's been in a long time. He's going to need a day off. Mauricio Khan, the leadoff man, already has 1 home run. He's still locked in. And he sends that one into left field for a base hit in front of Caroline Dealer. Chris Flopside gives up his first hit of the day. And now we'll see Werner Medrano, 2 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a double. Has reached base in every plate appearance. Chris still locked in here, but has to be careful against Werner, who has been hitting the ball really well. Great speed over there at first. They check on the runner. Retreats back in time. 0-1 count here for Crisp. Checking on the runner again. Now we can't go back over there. And runner takes off immediately. A fastball. B-Buck gets it down and catches the runner at second base to end the inning. So good little mind game there between Chris Flopside, B-Buck, and Mauricio Khan, the runner on first base. And now, here we go. Elias Hensley Tense should pull him here, but we're not. Instead, he's going to be facing off against Clint Brock. Come on, make me eat my words, Elias. Oh my God, he almost did. Hits that one into the third deck, but pulled it way foul. 0-2, and he gets a high pitch again, but pops it foul. Come on. Elias sees that one well and ends up taking it for a ball. Oh man, ball 2, and he swings through it for strike 3. All right, so that's going to be out number 1, and now here comes B-Buck. Having a good day himself. Takes ball 1, and then hits a fastball right to Werner Medrano for out number 2. So right now, things will come down to Cannon Avery, the last chance for us. 1 for 2 with a single. He is locked in. Max pressure. Clint Brock trying to close it out, and he's going to ground on the first pitch to Guerrero. Tosses to first for out number 3, and the Maulers lose this one. I blame Kellen Kirk, 1,000%. He just completely shit the bed in this one. I also feel like the offense completely let up. Elias Hensley, what a bad day for him. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. But we didn't start. We started off well offensively, and then we just went silent. And unfortunately, the Maulers, their offense just took advantage of our struggling pitcher. We went. Oh, man. Remus Wallace, this guy did not deserve that win. He went 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, and 4 strikeouts. He struggled a lot at the beginning and then found his groove and recovered really well. Clint Brock came in, just shut us down. Gave up 1 hit, but struck out 2 in 2 innings. Kellen Kirk, that was your last performance as an Outlaw, buddy. 1 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, and 1 walk. Elder Santos came in, did a pretty solid job. He did give up a home run, a solo shot, but 4 hits and 2 innings. Pretty decent job for him. Unfortunately, hurts his numbers. And then Chris Flopside, maybe his best performance of his career. 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Just a really great job from him. The bullpen did their what they needed to do. Unfortunately, our offense did not help him out, and our starting pitcher did not do what he was supposed to do. So we brought him in to be our ace. We now turn to our official ace, which is going to be Madden Zimmerman. Who do we knock some mojo off of? Or, I mean, loyalty off of? I'm going to choose Alex Hernandez because Red Nielsen's actually been doing decently well for us in the time that he's been playing. So, sorry, Alex. Another one here. We're going to give this one's really easy. Crisp gets the loyalty bump. Kellen gets the loyalty drop. The idea of giving him some extra loyalty did not help us out. That strategy did not pay off. Colton Ryan, I'm going to give him a boost back, especially since Elias hasn't been playing well. And that's where we are. So 7-6, facing off against the Pythons. Oh, this is the next game. So back-to-back games for us. Oh my gosh, that sucks. Let's just take a look now. What happened since that game ended? Some development for Alex Hernandez. Some development for Tony Centercut. -4 power for Justice Cologne. 27-year-old regressing already, but she also gets +6 speed. So she's fast as hell now. -5 arm for Braden Sorelli. That's not usually his biggest strength, but that sucks that we're losing that from him in right field. And then we see Sophie Linguino gets dropped by the below zeros. Artichoke Taverno comes in to replace her. So let's take a look as of right now. Who are our options to replace Kellen Kirk? Kellen is crafty. He's also bad at his job. And so we can really go, we can't bring in, I guess let's just do this. I'm going to choose release just so we can compare some things here. So this is an option. We could go with Turner Franklin. Turner Franklin, I don't like the walk prone and the surrounded, especially since surrounded would be tier 3. So another option would be Bitzer Hines. Bitzer Hines would bring us up to tier 3 and scholarly. So if we were going to do this, we would have to lose a scholarly player. So we could look to do this, and I wouldn't necessarily bring in Bitzer just yet. I want to get his salary or his asking price to drop, and we have time because that was the last start of the season for Kellen Kirk's spot in the rotation. I'm not interested in Brett Fowle, and I'm not interested in Jamie Nash as a 3-pitch pitcher. So unless somebody else comes around, I think Bitzer Hines is the guy we look to bring in. He is also a former All-Star, but hopefully he can produce better. Let's actually take a look at him really quick. Yeah, Jesus. He was pitching so well this year before the Dirt Dogs dropped him because he wasn't able to get... Oh, my God, that is crazy. And this is what year 2 looked like for him in the playoffs. We saw him, and he just completely shut us down in one of those games. So I want to bring in Bitzer Hines. Now, if we do that, we have to drop a scholarly player. So scholarly, the first player I see that I'd get rid of is Red Nielsen, the guy I'm just picking on this whole time. So Red, if we were to get rid of you, what are our options? We have Wilfred Norris. So that is absolutely an option we can consider. It's a big, big jump. But we could afford it. I think we could afford it. I'd have to check and see. We definitely have to wait if we're going to do that, though. Wilfred Norris would be a good option. And then Cardboard Wildly. If we did him, that would be an upgrade that would remain scholarly. So that would just be an upgrade to the pen, but not one to... that would not be... We would still need to get rid of somebody else. So then it goes, who else do we consider? Poppy Bruno. That's such a funny name. All right, so that would mean we have to get rid of another scholarly player, which could be, we could see what options are available at catcher. And that would be, Tater Holloway, Hazel Ruiz, Nettle Nomskull. See, Nettle is a spirited player, so we can't bring her in. She's decent, though. That tier 3 easy target, though, that's plus 30 accuracy to the pitcher. Jeez. And I don't think we can do anything with spirited. Yeah, we're not going to mess with spirited, so it wouldn't be Alex. Instead, we could look at Saul Ferguson. Saul, that's just a infield backup option, so we could also consider like a better hitter. Oh, that's also something I want to look at, Elias Hensley, if we were to get rid of him. So let's see. Saul for Fabian Bale. That would be a good option. It would limit our flexibility in the infield. Actually, Cannon is just a third baseman. Ramon is just a shortstop. Brock can play shortstop. Elias could play third base. Justice only plays first. We have like no flexibility. We could bring in Braden Sorelli to play in the infield, but I really feel like if we go with, if we were to go with Fabian Bale, that would just be so difficult for us to navigate around. Let's see what else we got here. We could go Darren Patrick if we had enough money, but I don't think we'd have enough money. And if I was going to spend extra, I definitely want that to be in the bullpen and not on the offense. So then we'd have, let's see, Canopy Ingrown is a scholarly player, so that wouldn't help us, which is unfortunate because that's always nice to have that fastball hitter. We could bring in Geronimo Bamber. He is a former All-Star. We could bring in Patrick Camacho, first pitch prayer, but would have decent or below average speed, has good fielding, has good arm, has good power, bad contact. But Patrick Camacho would be crafty, and keep in mind, the reason I'm talking about this is because he's crafty, but we're getting rid of Kellen Kirk for a scholarly player. Kellen Kirk is crafty as well. Now, Patrick is like we'd have to make that decision now, but so we can't. That's unfortunate. Let's see, what is Elias? Elias is competitive. And if we were to do that, we would need to bring in a competitive player. So that would be where we would consider Fabian Bale or, wait, hold on. Yeah, Fabian Bale or Geronimo Bamber. Yeah, I don't like these. Jedediah Anger. So it's not a bad option. There's some consideration here for sure. We definitely have to think about this because we need to get rid of Kellen Kirk before the playoffs. So yeah. So where we're at right now, and I also feel like Elias can get things turned around a bit. So we're gonna hope that he can use these traits to his advantage. So that means that we would look to get rid of Saul Ferguson, replace him with, who was it? Patrick Camacho. We would get rid of Kellen Kirk and replace him with Bitzer Hines. And then we would look to get rid of Red Nielsen for potentially... I guess we could do this one for Cardboard Wildly because it's a 1-for-1 replacement there. So Red is doing decent for us, but it's definitely not something that I feel like I can trust in the playoffs if we get there. Whew. All right, so that's what we're thinking for that. Development-wise, this one for Cannon, I'm interested, but no. This one we can get for Tony Centercut in one game. Do this one for B-Buck, but I'm not interested. No for you. We were talking about this one for a minute. I think we just focus on this one for Tony's center cut. Yeah, Tony gets the priority here, so he's going to get this one in one game. 2 power, 2 contact, and a chance for more power and more contact, which would just be, whew, that would be really, really nice. So that's where we will leave things. Taking a look at the standings, we are tied for first place with the Burners and the Pythons, but we lose in the run differential categories. We're still at -2. Looking at the playoffs, we're sitting in the number 3 seed, which is where we found ourselves going into the playoffs for the last 2 years. And so now we are in a situation where we have to do a 2-game series against the Pythons, followed by a game against the Marauders to finish things off. So it's not going to be an easy stretch here, but we need to focus, and we're hoping that Madden Zimmerman will give us the true ace experience that we have been missing from Kellen Kirk. So we'll see you all in that next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.